Hi, Sean. How are you today?
Hey Mandy, how you doing?
Doing good. All righty. Did you have a good week? Was it productive? Are you back to work full like normal schedule now or
Oh. Kind of.
yeah, back in the
Yeah,
swing.
we're getting there.
You guys have the winter storm affecting you too?
Yep.
Yeah, it seemed like it was pretty widespread. It's a winter wonderland here today. It's just been great big fluffy white snowflakes. My Samoyed puppy loves it. He's like
I've seen
potty
a
a
few
couple
people
times and
out
he just
walking dogs.
frolics like he just he's like, this is what I'm made for. Because they're, Alaska like sledding
Oh
dogs.
yeah.
So he's reveling in it. He loves it. And he just like blends into the snow too, because he's just a great big fluffy boy. So he's only 4 months and he was 39 pounds on Thursday when I took him to the vet and to grooming. He had his first grooming and the groomer was like, "Oh, he's just a big baby. He's huge. He's 40 pounds
Yeah.
already." He's supposed to be like 65 and I'm like, "Man, I can barely like pick him up already." So
Yeah.
I'm like a big
And
big
it's weird how quickly they grow too. It's
yeah,
like
a weed.
there was a post I saw of a friend who had a dog at 4 months and it was like that
Mm.
big and like in the same pose, like the dog 4 month like and then they did 4 months and the dog didn't even
Yeah.
fit in the mirror.
Oh,
It was so
right.
big.
Like you can't even do the same pose anymore
Yeah,
'cause
no.
it's too big. Oh, that's cute. That's fun. Yeah, he's grown like crazy. It's funny because I have the two little ones are only like 7 and 9 pounds max, and then Toji's already 40 basically.
Yeah.
So he's a big one, but he's a real sweet dog. Like as puppies go too, like I'm like, man, my poodle Scotty was a little bit of a terror. I he frightened me so much. Like he had to go to the vet for a broken leg at 6 months.
Oof.
He's eaten like tinfoil, he's eaten chocolate, like man, Scotty has put me through the ringer. He would just like sneak out the door when I'd take out the trash and like bolt, and I'd like have to search for him and find him like a neighborhood over in a garage
Yeah,
with an old man working at his workbench and stuff. Like, oh, Scotty was stressful,
I
but
believe it.
good dog. Yeah, my poodle, whew, he's a good boy now. Other people are like, he's a little bit of like a grumpy old man, and I'm like, oh, he's a sweetie to me. He's like my special boy. We like snuggle and
Poodles are territorial. So,
oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. 'Cause he's very like squirrels in the yard. He's like, get.
yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
very protective of me. That makes sense. He'll like growl to be like, back up off my mama. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Very, because like he's very like special bond with me, and then other people are like, he's a little bit of a grumpy old man sometimes, and I'm like, he can be, yeah, but with me, he's a
Yeah.
sweetie. So that makes sense then. Yeah, my girl acts basically just like a cat. Like she's a dog, but she just acts like a cat, so she's easy. She's a little Maltese mix. But
Yeah.
Oji is like the most joyful, like snuggly, playful. I'm like, oh, you're like the dog everybody wants, except that he's blowing his puppy coat right now and getting
Oh
his
yeah.
first winter coat. So we just have great tufts of white floofs all over the house.
It invest in a Furminator brush.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Good thought. Yeah, the groomer was like, okay, his tail it curls. They were like, he's gonna mat right there where his tail rubs against his back, and they were like behind his ears, he's gonna mat. So you gotta work those out like
Yep.
5 minutes a day. And I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
my ex-wife had two Norwegian forest cats.
Oh, okay.
And they are like 80% like fur.
Oh, yeah.
Um, they're just giant, like literally, like look like I have a picture somewhere, but it's my ex-wife holding her cat, and it's like it looks like a fluffy log. Basically, it's just
Uh,
they're long and they're very fluffy, and like yeah, they would get mats. They would
yeah.
get mats like in the areas where the legs met the body, definitely behind the ears.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like a little like I don't know, like drugstore like pair of like I don't know what they call them now, like the nose hair trimmer like scissors.
Oh, yeah.
Totally fine.
Huh.
Totally fine. You just get in there, like you lay them down, you treat, nom nom nom, treat, snip snip, treat,
Oh.
snip snip. Not a
Oh, that's
problem.
smart. Yeah, just use treats to keep them engaged.
Yeah,
Yeah. My husband's really good. He loves like doing the dog training and is great about that. And then he also is going to work with trainers a little later on. Like he was like, "Oh, at like 6 months, we're going to send him to like sleepaway camp with the trainers." And I was like, "He's going away?" He was like, "We can do it. It'll be okay." I'm like, but my little baby, my big baby, he'll be gone. So yeah, but apparently they're great. So he's got it all planned out, but he like is very diligent about training him, working with him.
yeah,
I think little dogs are harder. Like my my girl dog is so picky about food. So like you can give her a treat and she'll sniff it and be like, "No, thank you." And then my boy dog, he's not as motivated by food. He's motivated more by play. My poodle. And so like
yeah.
he wants a puzzle or like a game or like you have to do something to like activate his mind and he's more motivated by like a special toy that he only gets to play with during training, that kind of thing, or
Hmm.
like a special puzzle that he has to solve. Um, so
Interesting.
I think like figuring my husband's been figuring out like what will motivate them. And he's like, "Oh, Scotty doesn't like food. Like he's not motivated by the treat. You have to like use play with him to get him to engage." So, but I've heard like little dogs can be harder to train. And I don't know why, but I think it's true. Like, and they know, like Daisy knows she is brilliant, but she's just like, "Yeah, I do what I want." Like she just has that cat attitude of like, "I know what you
Yeah,
and I don't care."
like good for you.
Yeah, like she just is like, yeah, I won't do that.
Like, how about new?
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm like, clearly Daisy was a cat in her past life. So, but yeah, pets are fun. They're definitely they add to your, I feel like, quality of life quite a bit. So they take a lot of, time and diligence, but they're sweet and they're good dogs. So I definitely am thankful for them. I was gonna walk them, but I was like, oof, there's like this much snow on the ground already, and it's just still coming down.
Yeah,
Like,
I like
yeah, stay in.
it's getting bad.
Yeah, it's a rough week here. So one of my students already was like, "Can we do virtual this week?" Who normally comes in person. I was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking ahead. I don't want to be driving. So
Mm-mm.
she was like, "I love in person, but I think this week we'll just
Yeah,
stay."
I
So
I brought my laptop. I brought my laptop home from work, and
yeah,
I'm like,
you can work remote if you need to.
yeah, I'm like, because if it's even remotely bad, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like coming to see
Risking
you
it.
assholes that much. So
You're like, you're not worth risking my life, thanks. Alrighty, so yeah, I totally get it. So maybe you'll get to have like some quiet time at home this week, you
I
know,
hope so.
avoid the crazy roads. But yeah, I get it. Staying home, staying safe. All right, so piano wise, we're working through the minor keys. We're working
Hmm.
on we haven't quite gotten to the harmonic and melodic, so I was thinking we might do that.
No.
I challenged you to do the multiple octaves last week. We
Yes.
have our hand-in exercise, our technique exercise. We've got in the book, and then also you've been working with like Chordify and other things that are
Hmm.
things you want to be doing too, that are just really joyous. So it's really interesting. I feel like uh some people are so like, ugh, I hate like technique work and theory. And then lately I've had so many people being like, I need more theory. Like, let's do more of that. And I'm like,
I again,
yes.
I appreciate the theory and technique a
Mhm.
little bit more, just because like it might take me a minute, but I can read the sheet music and I
Sure.
understand. I'd say 90% of what's on the page with the notations and the ties and the staccatos and crescendo, diminuendo, all that.
Yeah.
Um, it's technique things
Mhm.
like um in a couple of the pieces that I've got. Like not the not the one we're working on right now, not the minuet, but the next one.
Okay.
I can already see like bunch of 16th notes and everything. So it's like having the technique doesn't make that as like intimidating.
Yeah. That's good. I love that. Um, yeah, that it can be kind of daunting and scary, but I feel like we've been doing a really good job of just like adding a little more, adding a little more,
Mhm.
adding a little more, and gradually working through. So it's less scary because it's like little chunk by little chunk. It's not like just
Yeah.
into algebra, but like we start with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions, percents, and then we get to full on like word problems with full-on algebraic equations and things, right? You don't just dive into that. You need things that build up to it. And so we've done a really good job of gradually building, which is really exciting. So, let's go ahead and take a look. We're on six sharps, right?
Correct.
Okay, great. So let me hear, were we doing three octaves or did you try the four octave natural minor scale?
I did three, I
Okay,
believe.
great. Yeah, I think we were doing three in the lesson. So I was thinking that's what we were
Yeah.
going to stick with today. So, did you happen to be able to conquer hands together on that?
Mm, if it's iffy, but it's better.
Okay. All right. So, let's go ahead and let's try it hands separately first, and then we're going to try it
Okay.
hands together.
So,
Okay. So can we adjust your sound settings a little bit? Can you go to your microphone and go to the little arrow, and then you're going to click audio settings, and then you're going to scroll down and it says audio profile. Can you click on original sound for musicians? Just make sure that's on.
give me one second. Because I can do this, but I can't do it whilst in a chat.
Ah, okay, great.
So give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back.
No problem. It's just like reading it as something it like maybe wants to filter out. So I'll like hear it and then it'll go out. So it's like trying to, the voice is super clear, but it's thinking the piano is something that's like background noise.
Okay, 2 seconds.
No problem. Did we get it fixed?
I think so.
Okay,
Um,
excellent.
here.
Okay. So up in your right-hand corner, does it, so you selected an audio, but then you have to click it on. It says like off and on.
Yeah, I
It's
clicked
like
it.
original.
Let me
Perfect. Try it one more time.
second.
Weird. Yeah, it's still having the same issue. So let's go ahead and switch over to FaceTime just because that's being funky. I don't know why. Because that hasn't been an issue in the past. So let's go ahead and just switch over because I want to be able to hear your piano clearly and it's like very soft for me. So let's
One second. Ha. All right. How about now?
loud and clear. Beautiful. Yes. Yeah, that's what I need. I'm like, if it's that soft, it's like hard for me to, hear the nuances and give you the feedback. All right, great. So we're doing D sharp minor, 6 sharps, natural minor scale. Let's go ahead and try the other hand,
Okay.
the 3 octaves. And you've got your fingerings down. You feel confident with those?
For the most part, yes.
All right. If you
Um,
feel like we need to review that, um, let me know. But I find it's pretty easy because you've got the 4, 3, and 2. Anytime you have the 3 black, the 3 and 2 on the 2 black keys, and then your thumbs are actually together. So I
yeah,
actually find this one to be a little bit more easy to remember. So
fair
go ahead
enough.
and try that again.
So, on the other hand, it's
Nice. Yes, very good. So that feels solid.
yeah.
Let's go ahead and try hands together on this one, see how we do. Nice. All right, very good. All right, so feeling really solid. I love it. Let's go ahead and we're going to try a couple of the other types of minors today. So, do
Okay.
you remember the difference between natural minor and harmonic minor? What is the difference?
Natural. Well, the harmonic is we raise the sixth and the seventh on the way up and the way back down.
So that's going to be so on melodic, we raise the sixth and the seventh on the way up, and then we lower them again to make it natural minor on the way down. For
Yeah,
harmonic, it's slightly different. You're going to only raise one. Do you remember which one it's going to be?
the seventh.
Yes, correct. Yes. All right. So for harmonic, the only difference is that you sharp or raise the seventh a half step. So what note are you going to be playing then for that seventh?
Uh, it'd be D natural then, wouldn't it?
Or so D sharp is our
C
root, right?
double sharp.
What is our seventh then?
Our seventh is the C sharp.
Okay. So then if we raise it a half step, it becomes what?
C double sharp.
Yes. Do you know what the double sharp looks like?
I remember seeing it, but I don't remember what it looks like off the top of my head, and that
Okay.
bothered me.
That's all right. So the normal sharp looks like a hashtag or the pound sign, right? On when you're looking at like a phone, the pound sign. For the double sharp, it's going to be an X. You're going to see an X, and that's going to
Okay.
be that. So let me do, I'm going to show you an example just so you can visualize it. All righty. So here we have that harmonic minor, D sharp, and you can see the regular sharps. Everything is sharped except for the B is going to be natural, and then your C is going to be double sharped. And then you can visually see above, you've got D sharp, E sharp is actually the F, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B natural. Then the C is actually going to be double sharped, which is the D. and then D sharp will be last. So you have that visual that can kind of help. All right, so let's go ahead and try. Let's just do the 1 octave so you can piece that
Okay.
together in your mind and do hands separately first. Yep,
So it's the same on the way down, isn't it?
correct. It's the same. Yes. Yeah, and what about your fingerings? Does that change at all from natural to harmonic?
A little bit, but not by much.
So what would change about the finger numbers?
Actually, no, no, nothing does change.
Doesn't. That's right. Good. Let's try the other hand then.
All right.
Yes. Very good. Wonderful. All right. Do we dare try hands together?
We can give it a shot.
All right, let's do it.
Ooh, got off on my fingers.
Beautiful. All right. So now we are going to try the melodic minor. So again, what would melodic be? This is the one that's different on the way up and the way down.
So this is where we raise the sixth and the seventh on the way up, and then it's regular natural on the way back.
All right. Good. So what would the notes be? What is your sixth going to be?
That would be B.
So what was it before and what is it going to raise to be? So if we have natural minor, right? It's going to be B natural, D sharp, right? So for melodic minor, you're
It
going to
would
have
B
B
sharp
sharp,
and C double sharp.
double sharp, and D sharp. That's right. All right, so I'm going to screen share so you can visually see that again. All right, and you also can see some of the fingerings there too. So D sharp melodic minor scale, we've got the right hand numbers are on top and the left hand numbers are below. And you also can see the picture of the piano below that can be really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has the grand staff written out as well. So we're going to have on the piano keyboard, you can see the E sharp is the F, the B sharp is the C, and the C double sharp is the D. It's the same thing, right? So I want you to try just the right hand for that D sharp melodic minor. And remember, on the way down again, it changes back to the natural. That's it. All right, let's do the left hand now. So the fingerings, remember the numbers are the same, but the notes change a little bit. So try that left hand. Great. So now 1 octave, hands together. Beautiful. All right, so now we're going to try doing the arpeggio for the one chord here. So
Okay.
sharp, minor, arpeggio. Can we try the 3 octaves here? Let's do just right hand 3 octaves up and down.
Dude. Other than the one mess up.
That's all right. It happens. Let's try that left hand now. We're gonna do left hand, 3 octaves, arpeggio for D sharp minor.
So much easier in the left hand.
Good. Excellent. Can we do hands together?
I can try.
All right. And you can slow it down if you need to.
Nope. Nope.
All right. So we need to work on that more this week, okay?
Yeah.
And I would challenge you to work to get it to where you can do it really steady with a metronome, okay?
Okay.
And even if you have to start it at a really slow, steady tempo. Yeah. All right. So can we go through? Let's do all of the chords in D sharp natural minor.
Okay.
So why don't we do left hand? And you're going to start on D sharp minor. And we're going to go through every single chord, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7 chord, all the way to the 1. And it's going to be your D sharp natural minor chords.
Okay. Ooh, that does not sound right. Alright. Ah, that's why. There.
Right? And I want you to spell them out. So D sharp and then what and then what. So build from the bottom up in root position.
Okay, so D sharp, F sharp, A sharp.
All right.
That
And then what do we do next?
would be E sharp, which is E sharp, G sharp, B.
All right. And what kind of chord is that? Because it's not minor and it's not major. So do you know what kind of chord that is?
I do not.
So that's a diminished chord. We know that because it's 3 half steps and then 3 half steps. A minor chord is going to be 3 half steps and then 4 half steps. And a major is 4, then 3. Augmented is 4, then 4. So for E sharp to G sharp to be natural, it's 1, 2, 3 half steps up and then 1, 2, 3 half steps up. So that's a diminished chord. All righty. So let's
Okay.
try then the F sharp chord is going to be what 3 notes?
F sharp, A sharp, C sharp.
Yes, and that one sounds really happy to us. That's a major chord, F sharp major. All right, then G sharp is what?
It is G sharp, B, and D sharp.
Yeah, and that is what kind of a chord? Sounds kind of mysterious. Like, what's going to happen next?
It sounds like a minor chord.
It is. It's a minor chord. Yes. All right. What's our next chord then?
That would be A sharp.
Okay. Then C sharp and E. So that is what kind of chord?
Another diminished.
A diminished. Yes. All right. Then we have B is what's going to be next. We have B, D sharp, and F sharp. So that'll be what?
That's another major.
Major. It sounds really happy, open. Yes. And then we have C sharp, E sharp, G sharp.
Uh, nope.
Another happy major chord. Then we
Yeah.
end on D sharp minor, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp. Yes.
Okay.
Good. Now, most often in minor chord progressions, you are going to have some accidentals in there. So for instance, the 5 typically is going to be made major. So if I have a D sharp minor chord progression, you might see something like a D sharp minor chord going to like, if you have the 4 chord, that's what?
Minor chord.
G sharp minor might be your 4 chord. And then we'd go to A sharp major because we just like the sound of that. So what would that be like?
G sharp.
So it'd be A sharp to C double sharp to E sharp would be what, um, like which, the harmonic or melodic, what could that be part of? If that 7th is raised.
On the A sharp?
Yep. Kind of a trick question because it could actually be part of both. But if the 4 chord is minor, then it would tell us we're probably in harmonic minor, right? Because the 6 would have to be raised to be melodic, right?
Yes.
Also have a major 4 chord, which would make it be more like a melodic minor. Yeah. So you're going to
Okay.
have some differences when you change to the other types of minor. All righty. So
Okay.
be prepared for that your 6th and 7th can sometimes be raised. All righty. Okay, good. So we did a little bit more with that today. I would love for you to challenge yourself, like in Chordify, or somewhere else, try to find a D sharp minor chord progression and play through that for an actual song this week. Okay.
Ironically, I already kind of have one.
Yay! Awesome. So what have you been working on with that?
Um, it's completely unintentional. That's the funny
Okay.
part. I may have to go grab my iPad because I don't know if this is gonna work with.
Oh, that's okay. Do you want to go get it?
No, it'll work.
I find it really helpful to have like multiple devices too. So I have like my laptop and my iPad at the ready, and I've
Yeah.
got like, my keyboard and I've got my phone in case I need to pull something up on there. So I find that really helpful too to have multiple devices at times. And my iPad's where I keep a lot of my sheet music in there. So can be really helpful. I get that.
Alrighty. Thankfully, with a one bedroom, I don't have to go very far.
That
Uh,
is handy. Yeah, sometimes I see like, in TV shows, like Hallmark shows always have like beautiful, big, like mansion castle houses. And I'm like, who cleans that?
yeah, like F that. That's too much to
I can't
clean.
even keep up with my little like 2-bedroom condo, you know? It's
Alright.
always messy.
There we
Especially with the
go.
dogs. They just track in leaves and stuff all the time. I feel like we vacuum every day.
I can understand that.
Alrighty, so and like Toji, he pulls his toys out and then they're just like all over the floor. But hey, at least he's chewing on toys and not the furniture, right? Or
There
shoes.
we go. Where
He
did they?
destroyed my husband's favorite pair of boots. I was like,
Oh no,
oops. Fortunately, it was just the insole. He like pulled it out and chewed it all up. And I was like, uh-oh.
that's not too bad.
Yeah. So,
Where the F did it go?
oh, you're trying to find it? What song is it?
Yeah.
Out of curiosity.
It's a song by like the one artist that I like quite like. Most of his piano. There it is. As I'm talking about it, it's called "Christmas Got Colder,"
Oh, okay. I
and
don't know this one.
it's one of those songs that I like. I love.
Oh, I love
Um,
that.
and unbeknownst to me, like after like sitting here like and realistically just putzing with it, um, I found an accompaniment, someone who had written their own accompaniment for it,
Okay.
and it's pretty spot on.
I love
But
that. Oh,
it's the it's got the one flat. I'm thinking that's one of, yeah, never mind. I'm thinking something. It's got the one flat, but I'm thinking six sharps, so never mind. Um, totally off base then. Never mind, because it's like it is a minor key
yeah.
because there are a bunch of accidentals in it.
Yeah.
um, so actually, yeah, come to think of it,
And if we're adding accidentals in, we can check if maybe it's like harmonic or melodic minor, or maybe we've modulated to a different key at a certain point. So what those are can be a clue, a hint to what's happening there harmonically.
apparently, I really like songs with flats, not sharps.
Okay. That's
Just one
okay.
of
I mean,
those.
I feel like for, isn't it like guitarists like sharps? And then typically for piano,
Yeah,
like flats. I've heard.
it's
Yeah,
such a
you're like
colossal.
a trumpet player, you want it to be in flats.
It is such a colossal pain in the butt to try to sit here and like have to essentially like rearrange when
Yeah,
you technically on a theory side there's no such thing as a flat. It's like, I
right.
mean,
Well, it can
it,
sometimes be easier to think in terms of sharps or flats depending on what the key is too. Like it's a little bit like simplified in your brain. So sometimes I'll go like, oh, it'd be easier to do instead of like A sharp, maybe I'd rather think of it as B flat. It might simplify it in my brain. So, it just depends on what the key is.
yeah, apparently I don't have anything that is six sharps. Just one of those like, interesting.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's easier to put it in a different key, so people don't
Yeah.
do that. But that's why it's a good challenge. So if you have like iReal Pro, you can go in there and like put a chart into any key you want. So you pick
Mhm.
a piece that's in a minor key and just put it in D sharp minor, and then you can practice in that key. Yeah.
True.
So
Um,
yeah, so can I hear a little bit of the song you've been working on? It's fun too because it's been like holiday season, so to be working on one that's like a holiday song too, I think is fun.
I mean, the biggest challenge, like, because again, this is more of like an accompaniment arrangement.
Oh, right.
Ironically, is just this one little, I don't even know, like riff. That's what I'm used to calling it. It's
Okay,
not. I don't know what to call it in the guise of a piano.
yeah, sure.
Like,
Right, like for singers, we usually call it a riff. But I mean, you can call it like it historically, like in the classical world, we refer to it as like ornamentation, or you could maybe it's like a hook. Like we have all these little like words for it. I feel like you can still call it a riff, even
yeah,
if it's not.
like,
I mean, that's something you hear a lot from vocal performers. Um, but yeah, I mean, and then depending on what it is, I might refer to it as specifically the kind of ornamentation. It might be like, oh, I add an appoggiatura there, or I have a little like trill there, or it's I add in passing tones there. You can break it down really small, but I feel like you can simplify it to say like, oh, it's just like a riff.
Okay. Well, it's the actually it's better with the pedal.
Yeah, I feel like you can still say riff. In jazz, sometimes you hear it as a lick. Like, have you heard
Yeah,
of the word a lick in
yeah.
jazz?
And that's the other term that I was thinking of, and I'm like, that doesn't really quite work, does it?
Right, yeah. Have you heard the word ostinato?
I have not, no.
Yeah, so that would be like in classical music. Um, it's like a repeated musical phrase or a rhythm that comes back and again and again. So you might hear ostinato. Riffs can be the rhythm, the melody, the lyrics. An ostinato is usually more of like a repeated musical pattern. Um,
Okay.
and it would be more like for the classical world. But I do feel like you can say riff and people probably would understand what you mean by that.
Because it's one measure and like it kind of actually before I sit here and talk myself into to F. Oh, why are you doing that? That's weird. Okay. Um, for most of the verse and intro, it's pretty much it's the leading measure. It's so that's the measure. The intro,
Yeah,
and then
you've got like an introductory phrase that leads in.
yes, and like the next three lines start with the and then you start moving into the more of the chords. Yeah, that's that. Yeah. So so F so that's F A D it's it's a D chord in a second, yes, second inversion.
Okay.
So and this is where it kind of changes that like measure up a little. This is where it gets a little squirrely for me. But it's mostly chord arranged, like it's clearly written out, but it's mostly chords. You just get a few, some motion here and there. That was kind of what I was messing with a little just on my own time.
Okay.
Um, left hand's, for the most part, fairly basic. It's C, F, octave E, what I've affectionately called the dad chord. And then it's F, and then it just kind of repeats that, and then slides in like a C chord every once in a
Sure.
while. And that's the left hand for the most part. And that's like the entirety of the first page.
Could we go through and just have you play that first page in that left hand, and just play through it for me?
Okay. Yeesh. Oop. There it is. And yes. Oop. E. Not C, F. F. Yeah, that's because it's a tie. I keep forgetting that part. C, F, octave E, that chord, and then so A, yeah, A, D, G, C, G, E, C. U. Yeah, sounds weird by itself, to be honest with you. But the
That's
but been messing around a little bit with this one for the most part, just trying to get off the exercises and theory stuff.
Mm. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think putting the theory into actual practice is a really important step. So I love that you're doing.
Yes.
Okay, good. So then let's go ahead and we're gonna try the right hand in this.
Okay. All right. So. So that's where, yeah. That's the part I always mess up. There it is. There it is. Nope. That was there it is. And then this is the tricky part. It's E C E C. So it's just getting from that inversion of C into um, hands together, kind of messy. And when I say kind of messy, I mean like, borderline nuclear fallout messy. Um, but I can see like I what little I've gotten through it hands together, it makes sense and I can hear the song.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's just one of the ones I've been putzing with. Like,
Okay.
hmm,
Nice. Well, keep up the good work on that. Let's go ahead and do our technique exercise in your book.
okay. Which particular one?
Let's do the Hanon and also your additional exercise in your technique book. Which one would you like to do first?
Uh, I mean, it's really an either or kind of a thing, unfortunately, but
Okay.
um,
So we're just gonna start with one. Why don't we do Hanon first?
hold up. Excuse me. Good Lord. Uh, I wish. Yes. Okay. 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 C to A. C to A. Nah. Nope. That's again. I did it
That's your
again.
note. Can you say your notes to me as you play them?
The fun part of that was I think I had bled over again into number 6, but it's C A G A F G E F.
All right, there we go. Good. Let's try it again. We're on number 5, yes?
Yes. Nah. Now the fun part. I gotta remember the if it was because it's nope. F. This is the part I always mess up.
So the
If,
turnaround, moving back
yep.
down.
Yep. Because it's C. Nope. C. C. D. C. E. Good Lord, fingers, come work with me here. C. D. C. E.
You want to try descending hands separately first?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's do it.
I am struggling with this so bad.
No problem.
It bugs me.
So break it down. Let's do just right hand descending first. Let's say the notes as you play.
C, D, C, E, D, F, E, G.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. Why am I messing this up so bad? There it
Okay.
is.
And left hand now.
All right. This is the weird one. Nah. Why I want to do that? Yeah.
Good. How'd that feel?
Clumsy.
Clumsy. All right. So that just means we need to work on it a lot more.
Yes. I
Can
don't know
we
what it is.
try real slow, hands together, descending? And I would say this week, let's work on that descending. Like each time you practice it, do like 5 times descending. You can even just kind of put away the ascending section. Just really drill that descending this week.
Okay.
Okay?
Nope. Nope. Yeah. What what's going on here? What is going on?
Good. How's it feel?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna keep working on that.
What would you say about that?
All right. Do you want to take a look at our other technique and theory piece?
Uh, yes. Figure out. Okay. This was what, number 4? Yes. Number 4. Because this is the weird one. So it's C. this is where it's again. And then then it's the other way around. So it's C, C, C. Nope. I have lost my mind this week, apparently.
It's okay.
Ugh.
Lots of
It,
broken finger twisters today, I guess.
yeah. C, C, C. Okay, either I've been playing this wrong or like I'm losing my mind today.
It's okay.
C, C. C. Wow. F. C. C. Because the octave jump. C. What the world? I don't know. I apologize. It's bothering me. C. 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 D. E. C. F. C. G. C. Huh? C. Ugh. Yeah, definitely gonna have to look at this one a little harder now. I'm really not as.
What in particular is tripping you up here?
It's the
Very
it's the complete and total shift in the pattern. It's there isn't like on the decline.
nice.
Yeah, on the descend, it's not even like at least in the Hanon exercises, it's kinda in the ballpark.
Yeah,
This one is not.
completely different on the way down. Yeah.
Yes.
So descending on both Hanon and this technique piece this week. Do them hand separately first. And once you feel like you've gotten pretty comfortable, then you can try hands together, okay?
Okay.
All right, cool.
Oof.
All righty. So you
Oof.
also have your piece in your book that you're working on this week. We'll get
Yes.
to that one next time, but I think you have plenty to work on just with these for this week. So what would you say is your number one thing that you felt pretty good about today that you were like, I did pretty well with this, and I'm proud of myself for the work I did there?
I would say the multiple octaves on the scales with
Nice.
and the arpeggios.
Yeah, good. And then what would you say is one thing that you felt that you were improving on as we were working on, but you still thought, I could still use a little bit of work on that, but I definitely could tell, that I was improving on that.
I would say definitely on more on the Hanon exercise on that one.
Great. And then what would you say is one thing that you want to maybe set as like a practice goal for this week? Like, I'm going to try to practice this many days for this amount of time. So, what kind of practice goal setting are we going to have for this week?
I would like to do. I would like to more set an amount of time
Okay.
than and because like realistically, I'd like to get a minimum of 15 minutes a day in.
All right. So, total then, if we have 6 days between now and when I'll see you again, you're going to have how many minutes? You're going to have 90 minutes. So, that's an hour and a
So,
half total this week. And I love that you're wanting to do that consistency because having smaller sessions more often that are very focused and directed, I find that is where you're going to see the most growth. Yeah.
I, I find it easier on multiple levels.
Yeah.
It's not overwhelming. It's not like, okay, it's not the, I'm sitting around and like, oh God, now I gotta go practice for like an hour.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. It's like I can do it for 15
yeah,
minutes.
like
Even
I
if
can
you
do
had a long day at work, it's like 15 minutes is doable and you can like really focus on a particular goal for each day. So if you say like
Mhm.
today, I'm working on the descending of Hanon in that left hand because it's really getting me. And then the next day you say, okay, today I'm working on the D sharp melodic minor today, right? So you give yourself a specific thing that you want to really focus in on for that day. Okay?
That works.
All right. Awesome work today, Sean. Keep up the good work, and I will see you next Sunday. Okay?
Alrighty.
All right. Bye, Sean.